Sage Swinton and welcome to the Mercury Sport Talk, weekly wrap of all things sport. You might not recognise me. I am usually behind the camera and Rick's in front of it, but we've decided to switch roles today for International Women's Day yesterday. And I've got two amazing sporting women with me today. We've got Kiona Sunerton, who is a champion street stock racer and netballer as well. And we've got Kel Huggins, who is a former under-19s netballer and former Maitland Mustangs captain as well. So Kiona, can you tell us a bit about your sport?
So I race speedway. I have done for about, it's over 20 years now. Makes me feel old. So basically I'm in like Ford versus Holden category. It's your street car, road car, made into a race car. And we race on an oval clay track. So lots of fun, a bit hectic, but not a lot of people I know Kel outside of my social life, and she's only just found out that I race cars, so that's kind of how it goes. Not a lot of people know that, I have a little side hobby, I guess.
Yeah. And how do you get into a sport like that?
Family orientated. My dad raced, grew up following him around to all these country tracks. Great way to holiday. Just as soon as I was old enough, 16, juniors, followed in his footsteps and couldn't wait to have a go. So.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And you race against the guys. What's that like?
Yeah, so it's only guys. There's no divide. There's no female racers in our category. So it's from the start. It's just I've been one of the boys, which I guess for them, some of them probably don't like the fact that I've been a little bit successful. For me, there's nothing better than being the boys. So I enjoy it. I enjoy being underrated and underestimated, and then to go out and be successful is definitely nice.
Yeah. So last year you won, you beat all the guys and you won the Australian Street Stock Championship. You didn't compete this year, but you're competing in the Sydney competition at the moment and you're going quite well. Yeah, so
track championship, or our Sydney Club Championship, is still underway, so I've got 2 rounds to go. I missed the first round, so I thought I was a write-off, but went down and had to play the next couple of rounds and happened to win, and so I've won. We've had 6 meetings this year and I've won 4 of them and podiumed the other 2. So I'm in a real purple patch at the moment down there, and hopefully I'll finish off the last 2 rounds and can get the championship under my belt. Will be good.
Awesome. And Kel, you have switched through your whole career between basketball and netball.
Yes.
You're not actually playing anything at the moment.
No. So we're in pre-season for both at the moment, but I'm sidelined, so I've just been working on some rehab and hopefully get back to netball this year, which would be good. Yeah,
and you made state level basketball before you had to choose which one you were going to focus on, and why netball?
So I was trying to juggle both till I was about 16, and then it just became a little bit too hard, things to start to cross over, and I don't know, I just really enjoyed the challenge of netball. A lot of girls play it, it's quite competitive. I liked going down to Sydney and state trials. You've got 300 girls there and it goes for 3 or 4 phases, and then once you get in a squad, those squads go for a couple of weeks. So, and it was just something that you just really wanted. I remember being young and watching the state team walk past and I'd be like, oh Dad, how cool are they? Like, that's the state team. And then eventually got there. So just kept making teams, and was a huge challenge all throughout, so I really enjoy that part of sport. So that's why I stuck with netball over basketball.
And you're currently coaching for Hunter Academy?
Yeah, that's right.
And Kiona has also got a bit to do with the Hunter Academy. Your daughter's playing this year?
Yeah, I've got a 13-year-old and she was fortunate enough to make the development squad this year, and so I'm helping out by managing my first gig in the manager role, so it's a little bit new to me, but just to be part of it and see how the coaches are mentoring these young girls, it's amazing to watch. And I was just saying the opportunity that they've got, just the experience that they're having it's pretty spot on.
Awesome. So let's jump into some international stuff. We had the Matildas in Newcastle on Friday night. They won 5-0 over Vietnam. It was their first of 2 Olympic qualifiers. Did either of you catch the game?
I caught a little bit, just the highlights, but I would have loved to have gone. Being in Newcastle, it's just amazing that we've got international level sport here in our backyard. The crowd was good, the weather held off, which is always a win. Plus we had Emily Van Egmond, she was an old netballer as well, so she's come through and obviously got a little goal there too. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah, and Sam Kerr slotted 2. And we're just talking off camera about her signing how big was the contract that she signed?
600,000 a year with Chelsea. Yeah, which is just awesome.
Yeah,
women's sport. I think Liz Ellis said this week in a column that it'd be nice to get to the day where it's just sport instead of men's sport or women's sport. So I think something like that, we're definitely heading in the right direction. So hopefully more to come from that space.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. And in the cricket, the women also had a win in the T20 World Cup. They won their 5th World Cup in a row, beat India 184 runs to 99. Pretty good.
Yeah, after I watched them play against South Africa in the semi, and I thought, they barely scraped by to get into the final, and they just killed it the other night. I think the crowd helped, the support was obviously there, and India didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, what about that 86,000? Can you imagine playing in front of that many people?
I think that's what it was quite intimidating. I think especially for India. So it's just awesome to be there would have been great.
Yeah,
just to watch it on television, and the girls killed it. They didn't crack under the pressure, that's for sure.
No, well, Alyssa Healy, she's come out of a bit of a form slump. She scored 75 off 39 balls, 7 fours, 5 sixes. Pretty incredible.
Great effort.
And in the netball, considering that's both of your
forte,
we had Lisa Alexander get ousted as coach a couple of weeks ago. Thoughts?
Well, I don't want to be too controversial, but for me, personally, I think it's been a long time coming. I think we're due for a fresh take on things. The game's evolving, and I think in any level, the coach needs to as well. So it's unfortunate that I think we're probably a couple of big tournaments too late and we missed out on those wins in the World Cup and the Commonwealth Games, but I think they've done the right thing and it's time to get a fresh take on our Diamonds team.
Yeah, I agree. It was always Australia and New Zealand for a long time there, and then the Suncorp Super Netball started. You're getting the best players in the world. Obviously having them over here in our system is going to make their national teams
They're
better.
only getting better. They're
So,
getting better around.
But, that's great for the sport as well. The girls are obviously physically stronger, it's faster, they're playing harder. So for generally overall, it's good. But you're right, as the times change, you probably need a fresh look at it. So I think the timing of it's good. A little bit too late, you're probably right. But, we're into the next World Cup rotation, the block of it. So it'll be interesting to see who they put at the head there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think there'll be a few people vying for that spot.
Yeah.
And back in the local league, so Kellyanne, you're hoping to get back on the courts in Newcastle this season? You're playing down there?
Yep, I hope so. They've just done like a tier competition, more how the footy runs. So there's the championship division and then a couple of grades below. So obviously having a pathway there for young girls to be in a club and have somewhere to aspire to, that top team. So we're interested to see how that all plays out down at Newcastle this year. But as always, the competition's good, nice and competitive.
Yeah. And you're coaching in Maitland as well?
I am. I have the Maitland 17s this year.
Yep.
Great little team. Really looking forward to that. We're going away on June the weekend for state champs, which will be good. And Maitland's looking unreal. New courts coming in, the most teams that they've ever had.
Yeah,
so
240 I think I read, 15 more than last year.
Yeah, well, with the sports available to girls these days, it's great that we've still got numbers, retention, and we're smashing those numbers. So really looking forward to seeing how that goes. Yeah.
And Kiona, you've actually got one in your Saturday team this year. One of the 17s?
Yeah, 3 of them.
3?
So 3 of them. We've got 2 from last year that debuted in A1 with us last season and killed it. And then we've been fortunate enough to recruit another one this year. So we'll have 3 of Kel's 17s. I don't know if she knew that, but she does now. In our A1 team. And, we retained a lot of our players. I think we were really lucky. A lot of teams have had a lot of changes going on, but we've kind of stuck together as a unit. And
this is for Coalfields.
That's for Coalfields, yep. So, hopefully we can mix it up again with with some of the more experienced A1 teams,
Yeah.
and those 3 young 17-year-olds will definitely help towards do that.
Yeah, so we've got the George and Hills back, and there's 2 new West teams. How do you think they'll go? How do you think there's 1 new West team, I should say, with joining a
Yeah, it's
one.
nice. It's nice to have, I think, new blood in the mix. It gets a bit monotonous, and you've got the likes of Hills and the George. They always set the benchmark. So for us, kind of lesser teams, I guess it'll be up to us to see who wants to step up and match it with those guys. But yeah, it's exciting to have some more teams into that grade, and yeah, the youngsters coming through. That's what I think most exciting. So us oldies, again, showing my age, but eventually would filter back down and let them just take over up there.
Yeah, awesome. And one last thing, we've got to touch on it: the coronavirus. We've had 2 Italian teams play a football match against each other in a completely empty stadium. And LeBron James has come out and said that he will not play in an empty stadium. Got to ask, you've both probably played in front of some, probably not 86,000 big, but big crowds. Would you be playing out there?
I noticed too today that the Formula One are actually having their next race in Bahrain with no spectators allowed. So from a racing perspective, it made me kind of think, and I don't know, I think, I know I play sport because I enjoy it, but in a lot of respects, I'm doing it for the entertainment value, that's, I think, what I get the most out of it, whether I know the people or not. In my field, it's kind of my immediate family come and watch me play, watch me race, but in general, there's a lot of spectators there that don't know me, but they'll come down afterwards and say, hello, can I get a photo, all that sort of stuff. So to do that in front of nobody, I feel like it'd feel a little bit empty at the end. So I'm not sure how, I don't know.
It'd just be strange.
Yeah, it would.
Like, we went to the Sydney Kings last night, so game 1 of the NBL final series, and it went down to the wire. There was two points in it. But that last couple of minutes, imagine that being an empty stadium.
Yeah, with no atmosphere.
Yeah, like you can't hear someone screaming at their TV at home.
Yeah.
It would just be different.
Yeah.
So
Well, I guess it
something
remains to be-
unseen before.
Yeah, that's right. All right, well, I think that's all we've got time for. We'll see you next